Someone's just driven up there. Oh, I just missed it. Like at 100 miles an hour. Right. Is this working? Assumptions. Oh, go away, dog. This is a useful stopping place just for a period. Where good water for cleaning, do a bit of cleaning. And organising. Go for a swim later, backpack, things organised. Now, I sometimes when I meet people I ask them a question. This is going to sound like too much in people. I'm not actually that interested, and there's a reason. So I ask a question sometimes. If you get to speak with somebody for more than an hour, Pablo Neruda. I mean, what a good example yesterday. Conversation doesn't start until you've been speaking for at least an hour. Yeah, somebody I might value, I sometimes ask them, but what in life pisses you off? Now, of course, or angers you. Of course, they're not nice words, pisses off or anger. You know, what defines, if you have any, there's the word, but even this word is too much. But every time I hear or use the word exasperation, I think of one person using that. Anyway, 13 years ago. Right. What exasperates, or just what is the reason, if one is stating you kind of want to be aside, don't want to have much to do with people? What is the reason? Well, there's a few reasons, but one in particular. So although I don't really stay here, for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, as from a year ago, I was parked up in a car park of 8 spaces by a river, small town, not really wealthy, and it was at the beginning of a famous hiking trail, Offa's Dyke. And over a period of time, well no, from the beginning actually, I was close to where people would walk their dogs. Yeah, I see that. And I realised something kind of awful. There's one there. Now I'm not even going to turn the camera around. You see your Russell Brands and your Jordan Petersons and all these people, they actually exasperate me, but let's not go on about them. They sort of try and critique society without saying anything real. Now I've always, long been a people watcher of sorts. I just notice. I notice stuff. And here is the thing. I noticed this, particularly from a year ago. It's like, and sat here, although I'm just busy. It's also got really good signal, so use my laptop. 2 things. Now this isn't really just a tourist place, this is for people from the region to park up and go for a walk. At least a third of people, if not half of them, now of course a lot of them are coming here to bring their dogs for a walk. Well, first of all you have the sportifs, let's just ignore that. But much more interesting. And what I don't want to be around. I don't want to see. Not because I'm a nasty, disparaging prick, but a huge section of society, far more so after the pandemic, starts to define themselves. It's a neurosis. It's a neurotic reaction by having lots of special kit. The helmets. Everybody's got a helmet now. Oh, isn't that wonderful? health and safety. I could write an essay. Right, memo to self, write essay. I knew the cycle proficiency officer for Shropshire. She was unsure about all of this. But it's just become all about the perfect equipment. The perfect. Everything's going to be perfect. Lots of extra equipment. I saw an hour ago a woman, 30-year-old, walking along there who had the most perfect walking setup. Okay, that sounds unkind, but there is something actually more that I don't ever want to see, or want to hardly ever see. I need to be aside, and I know this is Britain, and it's not the case in the rest of Europe. The way now, half the people that come here, they are so, I mean, it's all neurotic control, but they wouldn't have it that way. And it is 60% women, actually 70%. They have just so gone into controlling their dogs. Every single thing, even the walking woman, it's like they've got largely dogs that are status dogs to be seen with in the latest harnessing, but the whole existence. If they meet people, they're only talking about the dogs. Oh, your dog is this. Oh, my dog is this. Oh, it's all smiley. And of course it's a social glue of sorts. But I know, because I've had a lot to do with animals, and I actually do speak with people about this, and about 3% of animal owners I meet, but for a year, they know this has happened too. And they're a bit exasperated. Or rather, one despairs, because it's not good for the people and the beasts. Okay, leave them be. Live and let live. Absolutely. But I don't want to be around it. It's a total and utter obsessive. And the point being, with an animal, you need to have a calm, relaxed, your body needs to be like that. If an animal senses, particularly a dog, that your body is not, just like that, they're in a different mode. But nobody can do this anymore. They've all gone the exact opposite, into a very, very tense, controlling. Now, the experts, or people actually gather to give each other's lessons here. It's like so depressing. And those are all usually quite chubby middle-aged women. Excuse me, you have to be fluid with an animal. You have to let the animal be an animal. That's the critical thing. But no, the exact opposite has happened. Really, really. It's control. It's obviously that's a inadequate word. It's a total and utter. The existence, every movement of these poor animals means something to the owner, or rather the show-offer, because that's what their identity. It's like that's a new safe identity for them to be. And of course it fits in with 2020 in that we have to be in control now. And it is so in my face all the time. I mean, it literally is. 3% of people are chilled about their animals. 80% are truly in this mode of, hey, you've got to be walking alongside me just like that. And they will tell their animals, almost all of them are speaking to their animals continually. And they're speaking to their animals as if a sort of wayward child that really does need constantly bringing to heel. It is so, well, for me, because I know how to properly, I've dealt with really crazy horses and stuff like that. It doesn't work, but it is so alien to just a kind of I'm incredibly happy, zen, because I learned to just go with the flow and do your best. That's what you have to do with an animal, really. It works, but no, they've got to predict and enhance everything. I mean, the equipment now on all these dogs, it's just, and of course people are paying a large amount of money. Anyway, and this is quickly to throw in as well. I mean, because they're so intense, they're so invested totally in this performance. It's more than a performance. It's an identity, it's an existence. But it's all terribly expensive, and today we hear on the good data, official data, from the insurance companies, the overseeing body, insurance has gone up 20% in a year. You know, it's like some of these vehicles next year, they're not going to be able to keep these vehicles on the go. Or these dogs, I mean, the amount, and of course, in terms of what they feed them, etc., it is all so expensive. How on earth? No, they're not all going to be able to keep up this total and utter existence. But when you are so invested, you're more than invested. It is. I can see it on their faces. All of them, their expressions, everything. They are this, you know, in their eyes, fabulous. My dog is totally and utterly trained and really, you know, one of their doggy dogs. As they can't afford that, they're going to hurt and fall to pieces. And it's also, apart from this dog mode being so boring and wrong, the people who gradually over the years in Britain are not going to be able to quite afford these, you know, they are, at the end of the day, it's this little decadence, and this is a neurotic decadence that's come about because of blah 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 in the last 15 years. Not accepting mortality is what it's all about, and a reduction in one's general overall lifestyle. Inevitable. I mean, apparently the figures are that 90% of these cars are on lease purchase, and the interest rates for them started to creep up 6 months ago, a year ago. So, I don't know. I don't care. But that's, you see, people assume, I communicate openly and freely with people, but they assume you have access to Grind. Whatever. I have no access to Grind. I have one reason above all for wishing to totally be aside from this, which is not here. It was just as bad in my previous location, although in fact it was actually even worse there, because see, there we go. And they've all got to have the perfect, you know, the way they put doggy bands on them now. What are they called? They put neckties on their dogs, and if you. It's also, in fact, this guy's just giving me dirty looks, and he didn't see the camera turn around. It's like, if you're not quite in our setting, the looks you get. You really are a lower form of life. It's all terrible. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying, because this is all that matters. It's like, yeah, okay, I understand that this is a gathering place for such, but my past place was in theory not as wealthy. Many more kind of less high octane people, type A, control-y, gotta have the right dog, gotta have the right harness. But even there, they'd lost it to this. They'd lost it. So, in fact, it was almost worse there. Yeah, I'd already, for 3 or 4 months, just like, I don't want to be around this anymore, it's all too much. Harnesses, dogs, da 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 da.